Good morning. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Brew. That means Paulina's here with us today. Topics: China is expanding EV factories into Africa. Software giant Oracle blowout quarter. And Amazon expanding into essentials. All of that and more after the bell. Ooh, that's a little different. Hello, Paulina.
Hey, Paulina.
Guys. How are you? Good to see you.
We are great. I'm great. Molly, are you great?
I am a little staticky here.
Yeah, Molly's dealing with the remnants of the earthquake out in California. So always great to see you, Paulina. You always put a smile on my face.
Oh, thank
You
you.
have such a lovely smile, and you're always so happy. So it makes me happy too.
I appreciate that.
Sure.
Right back at you.
Thank you. Well, I know we have a little bit of time today because you're a busy gal. Let's get to it. China first. So China is expanding EV factories. They're becoming crazy. This with this EV kind of stuff. They are dominating right now. No.
Yeah, and I know we talk a lot about it here. I've brought so many different EV topics, and I just feel like this builds on the conversation we've been having on EVs. So China, they are being strategic in their expansion of electric vehicles. So they started manufacturing in Africa in order to bypass some of the Western trade barriers that are in place in order to maintain their EV market dominance. So what they're doing is they're moving these Chinese companies in some of the manufacturing. They're trying to leverage Africa's low labor costs, and of course, Africa is known for its abundant resources. So that all helps reduce the different costs associated. And when there's lower costs, it benefits the profit margins. So that's helping China access the world demand for EVs. So it's a positive note for China.
Yeah. So what is the name of the big EV brand? BYD. What's it called again? I forget.
Yeah. So the automaker is BYD, but there are others, some smaller ones that we might not be more familiar with. One is called Chery. Another one is SAIC Motor Core. They're also aggressively moving into the African markets.
Okay. And so BYD, the big ones, is moving there as well.
Yes, they're moving their production there.
Got it. So is it mainly because is labor cheaper there? I'm assuming. It doesn't. Although I shouldn't say that because China seems to be the king of cheap labor. That's why we import so much of that stuff, right? So did you mention that it's manufacturers just better to do there? It's a cost thing?
Yeah, so some of the investments are this $20 million assembly plant in Kenya, and there's other plans to expand factories in Morocco and South Africa. And they're able to price their EVs a lot lower than for example what their Western counterparts like Ford or Tesla, with some models as low as right below $10,000, like $9,600.
Wow.
It's incredible. So they're able to significantly undercut their competition, and that's what Ford CEO is really worried about, and Tesla, of course, is really worried about that too.
Yeah. Well, I think from what I've read recently, I think Ford in the EV market, every car they sell or make, they lose money on.
Yeah.
So that's amazing that these folks over in China can do this. And I'm guessing Tesla lowered their prices too. So I gotta believe he's still pretty profitable on every car he sells. He's figured out something. Elon, he being Elon, right?
Yeah, Tesla is the market leader. There's no doubt about that. But we also can't forget that the leader in China is, the Chinese manufacturers. Tesla is no longer the global leader. It's the Chinese automakers who have the upper hand there, and that's worrying a lot of competition here in the U.S.
Right. Okay. Cool. Well, let's move along then. That's an interesting point. Software giant Oracle has a blowout quarter last week, so I did see that. What's to do there?
Yeah, so Oracle, we haven't really been talking a lot about software because the software industry, which is a subsector within the tech industry, has been on a 3-year consecutive slowdown. So it's not really kind of like a hot topic within tech, but Oracle kind of shifted that narrative. They delivered a blowout quarter last week. They had positive momentum. Sales, and they provided really strong future forecasts on their future revenues and profitability and so forth. And this essentially lifted the NASDAQ and a lot of other big tech names like NVIDIA, Broadcom, and so forth. So it boded well for the entire sector.
Okay. Oh, Molly's back.
Hello.
She's back.
Little computer swap. Computer swap.
Oh, why not? We're just talking about Oracle.
Okay, Oracle.
Oracle and their blowout quarter. So, and Paulina, you mentioned that on their backs, Oracle's backs, they kind of lifted up the whole sector. It sounds like.
Yeah. They essentially what was driving their earnings was the demand that their customers are seeing for artificial intelligence in their software, and what really accounts for that is their CEO Larry Ellison. Before a lot of the other software companies, he heavily invested in building AI infrastructure. So he was ahead of the curve there, and that's why he's been able to meet all this unrelenting demand in the AI driven software space.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that, but you already answered it, so that's good. Yeah, this AI thing is nuts. So guess what? I don't want to change topics too hard here, but Apple iOS 18 coming out has come out, and unbelievable out from what I hear. I haven't had a chance to go nuts with it yet, but there's some cool stuff, a lot of AI kind of things woven into it. It's just going to be everywhere, right?
For sure. Although there was a report that came out recently from one of the top Apple analysts that said that demand might not be as exciting as before, as maybe the first iPhone model that came out, because the customers might be waiting for this Apple Intelligence, and that hasn't launched yet.
It hasn't launched. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Molly?
Yes.
I didn't know if you were frozen. I wanted to make sure you were good.
Yeah. Have you guys tried the Apple goggles VR?
I was at a conference and a lady had them, and when I was speaking, she was in the back of the room with these goggles on. I go, what is she looking at back there? I go, is she possibly, maybe I was like a dinosaur in there or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
But I did try hers, and it's really, really cool.
It's incredible.
Why we went from Oracle to Apple goggles? I love it.
Because you were talking about the iOS system.
I know.
Okay.
I know. Sorry. Okay, let's move along. Amazon expanding into essentials. Okay, so truth be told, I bought essentials from Amazon, and when I purchase it, it tells you it's coming from Amazon Essentials. Maybe it's a division or what do you call it? A shipping spot, a physical spot, and it comes sometimes the same day, which is amazing. I live in Chicagoland, so it's a big city, big everything, and they have a fulfillment center like practically around the corner. So I'm assuming it's all there. So what is going on with this essentials thing? I'm sure there's some good news, bad news here.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, Amazon's expansion into essentials. Obviously, Amazon Prime has become one of the most convenient services of our lifetime. Like you said, you want to buy something, it comes to your doorstep either the same day or the next day. So customers know it's very reliable, it's cheap,
Yeah.
they have fast delivery. More recently, Prime members are making more frequent purchases online for things like, deodorant, razors, toothpaste, the consumer staples items that you might otherwise get when you're walking home from work, maybe at a Rite Aid or CVS, Walgreens. But no, people are opting to, go to Amazon Prime. And
Mhm.
like you said, there's a good and the bad. I'll start with the good here. So I guess logically, it allows Amazon to gain more wallet share from customers. So instead of going to pharmacies or convenience stores, customers are going to increasingly choose Amazon for their essentials. And that means more customers are considering Amazon for their services rather than other stores.
Right.
But the bad, on the other hand, is when you have more orders that are going on from the same person multiple times a day, that means
Mhm.
more packages, which means it's more expensive in terms of shipping and logistic costs. And we saw last quarter how that dynamic played out. It impacted revenue and profitability. And Amazon said that they want to be considered for these type of purchases, and they'll deal with this short-term headwind, and they'll offset it by reducing costs and just trying to be nimble in other areas of the business too.
Okay. Interesting. So people are saying, sorry, Mal. So people are when they buy, like I do this all the time. So when I need an essential, I'll do it real fast. I say I'm going to order on Amazon. I'll have it by the time I get home tonight. Then I said, oh, I forgot one. I got to do another one, and I do another one, and now there's 2 shippings there instead of 1 shipping, right? So that I can see could hurt, right? That's what you said? Is that am I understanding that right? Okay.
Yeah.
And like you bring up a really good point, both of you, is that they have AWS backing all of their infrastructure. So this will also put obvious strains on AWS,
Yep.
as well as the again, the double-edged sword, as you said, is that they have AWS. So it's AI optimizing routes and consolidation of packages and efficiencies all over the place. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle that. And again, that to handle the strain, we'll look to data centers, and again, we'll look to the commercial real estate of where those are going to be placed.
Mhm.
So I think that's a nice correlation to keep an eye on as we go forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good. Yeah, I just can't tell you how I love that service. I don't know. I'm a freak about it too.
So we did a movie at the house yesterday,
Yeah.
and we the whole art department said that they were instructed for some reason not to use Amazon on this particular vertical, and the entire Amazon, art department completely ignored them, and there was just Amazon packages there because they were like, it can't be done.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, I was at a golf tournament last weekend, and this guy had this little cigar holder dealy majiggy on his cart. It's like a clothespin.
Cool.
You snap it on your little rail in the cart, and it's got another little clothespin on it. When you're hitting the ball, you just kind of open that up, put your cigar there, right?
Very chic.
Very cool. Super easy, super cheap. Kind of totally plasticky, but cool. I said I love that. Amazon, type it in there. He goes, there it is. 3 for $13. It was when I got home. It's on my doorstep. Love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the data Amazon is holding as far as trades. So they can see before it probably hits the stock, the influx of demand on pre-orders, et cetera, on companies. Interesting to just peek in there as on a trading perspective.
Yeah. No, I think that's pretty cool. All right. That's a good one to watch. I want to see how that plays out over time. Paulina, any big plans this weekend? Oh, nothing? A little more exploring the city?
Probably a little bit more exploring. I have a lot of other places to check out on my list. So I'll let you know what sandwiches and pizzas I try next.
Awesome. Do you know that Paulina calls a sub sandwich a hoagie?
I've heard that.
Yeah. It's an East Coast thing. It's a Philly thing specifically.
Yeah, Phillies do that.
Yeah.
Pat or Geno's? Pat's or Geno's?
Oh gosh, I think I'm the only Philadelphian who hasn't tried either.
Oh my God! That's Philly cheesesteaks. Both of them. They're very near each other, aren't they?
They are. I think they're like across the street.
That's what I thought. Because I've been to Philly a number of times. We had an office there, and I always used to go. I can't remember which one I like, but I think they're very similar. I feel, but I think there's a big divide in Philly, whether you like Pat's or Geno's, right?
Yeah. There is quite a big divide, but there are a lot of other great places that have cheesesteaks too. It's a little unhealthy for me. Too greasy and cheesy.
Oh, just another workout day. That's all.
Right.
All right. Hey, guess what, Mel? She's got to go today.
All right, Paulina. Thanks again. This is great.
Paulina. Paulina, great to see you. We'll see you next Friday, same time, same place. I love our Fridays. So you have a great weekend.
Thanks,
and
you
we'll
too.
see you then. All right. That's a wrap, kids.
Bye, everyone.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.